Waking up in the morning light, kind of feeling like I'm in flight. Clouds are gathering up above, turning whispers into love. And I'm calling all angels, won't you hear my cry? Calling all you angels, lift me up to the sky.
Hello, Trevor. I put that in the private chat. Hey, Trevor.
Hello,
everyone. And here we are. So, such a nice day. Good to see you.
Good
Welcome,
to see
everyone.
you.
I'm not Bonnie, but I'm pretty sure you figured that out.
I love working with you. It's always fun.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank Bonnie so much for the honor and the opportunity to do this. And also, please take a moment to send positive love and energy to Bonnie. I'm sure she's feeling a little bit better, but we want her to be buoyant again. And she's a lot more entertaining than me, probably. At least she entertains me. So,
So how was the float tank this morning?
it's cool. I really like doing that. I do. It's like it's just unbelievable. But time slips by. Time, I guess, is like if you're watching it, it's it crawls, and if you're doing something fun, it's it's over in a heartbeat. And but yeah, it's just I seemed like I closed my eyes and like working through whatever I was working through, and then all of a sudden, they wake you up with like soft classical music at first, and then it gets louder. It's like hey, come on, let's go. It's like, wow, man, it's over already. But yeah, I really like it. I do. And a lot of people, like, if they're claustrophobic and they say, I don't know if I could do that. It's not, because it seems so vast. It doesn't seem claustrophobic at all. But again, you're in the dark. So maybe if you're afraid of the dark, you might want to do it. But
I love it.
Yeah, right. It's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool. So I always enjoy it. It's very, it's very grounding, and kind of brings everything together. And it's a good way to start a week or end a week, however we put it. You know what I mean? Because you can put right what where did I go south here during the week, and then going forward, you can at that point, all right, well, next week I'm going to play things a little bit differently and stuff. So it's a good time to meditate. I mean, it's a larger chunk of time. Normally during the week, I only meditate, maybe 15 minutes in the morning, if I can at night. But it's not a consistent practice. It's not as consistent as I would like it to be, anyhow.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I meditated, to be honest. I mean, I like to meditate to music.
Right. Well, I mean, and then there's a lot of different forms too. I mean, if you're like walking around the house, cleaning, you got the tunes on, and you're doing your thing, right? That's meditative. It's not, you're not sitting in lotus position, staring at your third eye, but it's the same. The benefit's the same, because it puts you in that trance, and then it puts you in that that flow. So I mean, there's more than one way to meditate, whatever works for you. So
right. Well, hello everyone. If you want a reading, please put your zodiac sign and your question in the chat. If you can hear my daughter, she's just getting toys.
And don't forget, like and subscribe.
Please. Yeah, I found a float tank here where I live, and it's pretty inexpensive. So I want to go try it.
You should give it a shot. Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's not, the worst case scenario, you're sitting in like really like a sauna, and it's you're sitting there resting, but you're floating. So it's not even like you're, laying in bed. It's like, oh, my neck hurts, or, this hard mattress or nothing. You're just kind of suspended. So, yeah, definitely. If you got an opportunity to do it, it's within your thing. You know, that's pretty cool. Don't be hung up on the fact that you got to meditate. Just sit there, close your eyes, and just enjoy the silence and the darkness of absolutely nothingness. And then the whole thing opens up. It's really cool.
Yeah. Please, can I know? Okay. And Trevor's an Aquarius.
Who's first?
Hmm?
I said, who was first?
Andrew is in first. So I guess we'll start with Andrew.
All right.
Taurus and a general.
Be my guess. Then that's general for the rest of 25. All right.
Sorry, I got to get all the cards out first. Well, I see here you're probably going. There's a case here where you were unpleased with something, and this could be creative or with work, perhaps. But I see you taking the action and using your logical mind, but also I have the Page of Wands here. So I feel like you're going to be embarking on something new. And they're saying, how will you know how beautiful your wings are if you never give them space to grow? That's what I have.
I have the so the first card I got was the four bolts. So that's a real joyful, you know, a lot of things. So it seems that, you know, going forward for the rest of the year, you know, there holds a lot of potential here. There's, you know, there is, you know, and if, you know, if it is a new kind of, you know, endeavor, maybe it's the same one, something, you know, something renewed, but there's joy, there's celebration, there's a lot going on. You can see, you know, with that card. The second card I pulled is the sunflower, which is actually the sun card. So again, that just kind of reaffirms the whole, you know, the whole joy, you know, the whole, you know, that sort of thing. So I mean, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of good things that are energetically around you, but there's probably just kind of like a word of caution with the blues, which is like the hangman. So, you know, the hangman, you could tend to be stuck. You could get stuck in your head and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's more of a cautionary thing. Like, don't be hung up, because, you know, this is, if you spend too much time doing that, then, you know, you might miss the sun and and all the joy that you got going there. So just stay out of your head. Don't keep your head underground, and just, you know, do what's right, and just be you, you know, be authentic. And I'm sure, you know, it'll be much more positive, and especially if you have new endeavors and whatnot that's going for you, then that, you know, that would definitely be good. But I think that, you know, 2025 from here on out should be pretty good. Just, you know, watch each card you play and make sure that you're, you know, you're not going to get too stuck in your head.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Hope that helps you. Next one is Susie. She's a Cancer. She'd like a general reading.
Susie. Yeah, I do hope that helps, Andrew. I don't know if you know, if you have a lot, you know, going on or anything like that, but it seems positive. And Susie is a Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
general reading.
I see you stepping into a new era here. One that's going to bring you a lot of recognition, a lot of success. Is there anything that you've been stressing about? Perhaps? Looks like there is a decision here on which way to go, which road to take. I'm getting the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. Don't get too stuck. Take the use your perspective. Change your perspective. Sorry. Moving forward. I see that becoming very successful. I do have the King of Cups here. Somebody that matches your energy, perhaps? That's all I have.
I have the Knight of Bolts, and so there's a lot of passion or something, whatever your endeavor is. So he's charging through, but you know, there could be trouble on the tracks, might be behind you, might be in front of you, but you know, stay focused on what you know, where you're going on that. There's, you know what I mean, there's a lot of energy that's behind you. On the same token, we have the Page of Skulls. So this is kind of like a new energy, you know the rules of the game and what you're playing, but don't be, hubris, just treat it as like, okay, well, this is the beginning. I'm in this, and take it from a newer perspective and not like this is old hat to me, and be willing to learn and stuff, because the Two of Bears comes next, and that's kind of, manifestation, juggling, back to what Jess was saying at the beginning of when she started reading you. So, I mean, you have that, that juggling, and certainly there's a direction or a lot of choices or a couple choices that you can make. So whatever you do, make sure you're passionate about it, and keep a childlike mindset. That's all I got.
Yeah, I hope that helps you. Debbie, did you want a reading? If so, can you put your zodiac sign and question in chat? And no caller ID, what is your zodiac sign, please? And this person is Trevor.
Trevor. And Trevor was talking about finance or general? Or?
Finances.
I'm not going to give you all those cards, Trevor. Trevor, my friend, what are you in your head about, man? Well, anytime you worry about finance, it's, you know what I mean? It's something you think about. It always weighs heavy because it's right there in your reality, and the more you tend to think about finances, good or ill, it tends to reflect more what you have. So the first card was our little Four of Bears. And the Four of Bears, let me double check. That's like definitely material, but it's not, it's not like a negative thing. It's like, you see the skeletons like grabbing on really, really tight to them, but sometimes the tighter, it's like sand, the tighter you hold it, the quicker it slips through your hand. So I don't. I mean, I'm not saying like let go of all your finances, but I think maybe just have a more freer mindset in terms of finances, where you know if you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, this financial situation kind of sucks. You could look at it as it's going to continue to suck, or try to have a relationship with it to spin it in a different direction where it's like, well, it's going to get better because I'm working at it. And even if what you're working at, it doesn't seem to be showing pay dirt initially, the attitude is going to be able to turn you in that direction. You see, so if you're looking at it, it's like, well, it's going to get better. I'm confident in my ability, because you should be confident in your ability. But like I said, what was weighing heavy on you, we got the 10 of skulls, and they're just, you're just there at that point where you're like, don't let it defeat you. And it's easy because that's what you're facing in reality. You wake up and you look at it, and there it is. And what I'm telling you is not necessarily to pretend it's different, but to be more focused on the positive, the outcome, and not what can go wrong. Because when you do focus on that, it tends to bring just more of that bullshit, right? Which brings us to the beautiful wheel of fortune. So it's always turning, man, and it's turning. So wherever you are on the wheel, it's gonna turn. It doesn't have to run over you. You can just take it for the ride to the top. So I think that just if with that positive mindset, and just be a little bit more easy with that. Don't really get hung up, because ultimately, if you look at it, well, I've always been okay. I've always been able to do something. So the universe has your back and it has your abundance. Just your mindset needs to be right. Don't keep focusing on that on that horrible the situation, because that'll just make you feel worse about it, and that just makes more of it easier to find. That's all I got.
I have here where you may have, I have 8s twice. So if you can look into the number 8, I feel like that would be very significant for you. But you are working towards a blessing coming in here. Because I have the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. Well, I see the Ace of Pentacles and the 8 as 9. So you are going to be very happy with this as well. There's a decision that needs to be made, but I feel like when you put forth the energy towards this, what you're going to get out of it is going to really make you happy. And they want you to get rid of any distractions that you might have that's not focusing on what you want to manifest. And that's what I have.
That's definitely what I have. And bears are pentacles, by the way, too.
Mm-hmm.
Who was next?
I said, mm-hmm. And pentacles also are for instance, in timing, they like to say that the pentacles are years, because it takes more energy to cultivate that, more of a tangible thing. Now is no caller ID is a Libra, and
You're welcome.
they want to know if they're getting a car. So
You want to buy mine?
I can see what's going on.
Well, I can't tell you if you're going to get a car, but I can tell you.
Wow. You're closing out a cycle here. I have 10-10 and the death card. Don't be afraid of the death card. It's just saying that there's going to be transformation. Let's see more. Oh. You are moving towards a more relaxing or a more fluid flow, I guess you could say. And you do have something coming in. I don't think that you're expecting it, but it is an opportunity here. Get one more card. Oh, 2 came out. Darling, don't you remember you're a badass? Keep winging it and embody the energy of a fairy. And when one star burns out, a brighter will come. It's your universe rearranging itself for the better. So yeah, that just reiterates the transitional time that you're in right now.
So,
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I do have the Are you done? I'm sorry, Jess.
Yeah, I'm done. You're okay.
The first one I got was the Queen of Bolts. So definitely, a situation where it's a positive, like, cultivation, a manifestation kind of bringing into her, you know what I mean? She's got luck and everything on her side. She's got a little cat dancing with her, a little lightning bolt, and it's freedom. It's that. So there is that coming to you, and so revel in that. We have the 8 of Roses, which to me, when I first saw that, there did symbolize a change. I couldn't really figure out until the car accident thing. It's like, well, there is a change, like something cataclysmic, but it's you're letting go of whatever happened, at that point. So it's that type of change. You just let go of it. It's over, and that's the way it was. But we're going to go forward, which brings us to the 6 of Bears, and the 6 of Bears is again just more good things coming to you. It's cultivating, that whole energy. It's back to the Pentacle thing that we were talking about before. So I see you probably will have the finances to get a car, everything into play, or however that works out, for you, because it'll happen. But there might be just a little tumultuous getting there. You know what I mean? There might be like, insurance is doing it, or it's like I got this, or whatever the deal is. But the overall energy seems really, really positive for passion and creativity and stuff. So I think that if you just keep your, try to keep a positive attitude like that, it'll fall into line. Albeit maybe a couple rough patches here and there, but I think you'll be okay. And I believe that you'll eventually come into the car that that was meant for you. And hopefully a safer one for you.
Yeah. And I'm sending you as much healing and loving energy as possible right now. I'm sorry that happened to you. And I hope that helps you. The next person would be Christine. She's a Cancer. She'd like a love reading. Okay.
You're welcome. I hope that helps. I really do.
Yeah. Have you been seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities, Christine? Because they're saying that they've been showing to you. Okay. There is a sort of approach. You're changing how you approach relationships and approach love and dating. I see that you're open. You know what you want. There is somebody here that is going to be matching your energy, and you guys are going to flow pretty well, I see. They want you to take your time and don't rush things, take things slow. But I do see somebody here that is coming in that's going to match your energy. And I see that you are going to be very happy with this person. That's all I have.
So what I have is I got the 5 of Bolts. And, that's just a lot of different thought patterns. So there's a lot of things that, each one of them has a different voice, and it's all in your head. So that's probably more of a, yeah, don't let all these different voices. You just gotta have a common thing and do that, because the next card that I pulled was a two of bears. So there's balance, creativity. It's you're right there. I think what Jess was saying. So I mean, if you have the proper mindset, and I don't like doing love readings because I think just love is one of those things that there can't be any conditions, and that's probably why this shows up, because all too often as humans, we tend to draw conditions. I love you, but I wish, that sort of thing. So you just kind of like got to drop all that, any old, stuff from behind. You can't drag that in, and that brings you to this, because ultimately, with the musician, and that's the magician, which means you're creating whatever you wish. So the love that you want is what you can create. So I would advise, if you have the thought, just not so much who you're in love with, but your idea of like, this is going to be the ultimate thing that I want. It's going to be somebody that's going to be supportive, likes to draw, has a car or whatever, whatever it is, your idea, but just kind of fall in love with that idea and that whole encompassing thing, and that will come to you. And then whomever will fit that bill, and it will be, like Jess said, something that it works out for you. So if you take it in that direction, but just keep in mind that you're definitely the magician. You're creating what you wish.
Yeah. Hi, Rosanna. What would you like a reading on?
I hope that helped.
Yeah, I was watching a video the other day that I found very insightful, and he was talking about how everybody loves to talk about love languages. Oh, my love language is this, and my love language is that. But what is your partner's love language? What is your mom's love language? What are, like, in your relationships, you're supposed to love somebody in their love language, not yours. And I feel like that's where a lot of things can get messy sometimes.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I guess we can just do a general for Rosanna.
Virgo, Rosanna, general.
Mm-hmm. I don't see a question, so.
I mean, the love language, it's really the energy that they have. It's like that's their energy. So part of that, you have to be reciprocal with that. That's their language. But if you're giving them that love without any kind of condition, of course you're going to accept that and be and be open to it. And it's not going to be something. No, it's got to be this way or the highway kind of deal.
Right.
But I think I seen an article similar to that about love language.
Mm-hmm. I was like half the deck. If you want to go first, you can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put everything into perspective here.
Okay. Gary Smalley, 5 Love Languages. Bonnie.
That's it. So I have the first card I pulled was the 10 of Roses. So there's like fulfillment, wholeness, a completion here, which is a good thing. So it seems like maybe there's you're at the end of something, and now you're reaping the benefits of that. And that that's a good thing. But there's change I feel on the horizon, because the next card I pulled was the 10 of Skulls. And so the 10 of Skulls is kind of transformation. It's changed. This little skeleton is weighted down by all these skulls, and it's just it's just a transformation at that point, which brings us to the Mirror, which is I believe that's the Tower card. So I mean, there is a change that's happening here, but it doesn't it's change happens all the time. It's just more something, whatever's burdensome on you. I think it's more of a, because you have a lot of this fulfillment here. So let go of, whatever burdens, and let that, make way for something new and positive, because, this will see you through. Just whatever is on the flip side, the negative aspect of it, just kind of transform that into it, because it's, it's at an end. It's at that peak. That's what
I have, okay, so you're dealing with a transformation that's going on within. There's also indecision causing delays here in whatever you're trying to manifest. They want you to see beyond the illusion or the confusion. There's this fear that things are going to be the same as they were before. I don't know if this has to do with relationships, finances. I don't know. It's a general reading. But they do want you, as soon as you make this decision, I have the Wheel of Fortune. So things are going to turn in your favor. They just want you to use your intuition, see beyond the illusions, the confusion that things might end up the same way as they did before. And you will overcome this, whatever it is that you are going through.
Yeah, the mirror in that deck, which is, that reminds me of the way it's described, is that it shatters that illusion. So all those little pieces of diamonds that are falling down are actually pieces of the mirror, which is the illusion. So you break through that. So it seems like it's a transformation, but you see past the illusion now. So you're wiser and you're willing to go forward at that point. I hope that helps.
Hope that helps you. I don't know if Lori and Debbie are still here. I wrote them.
Lori just came to watch and cheer me on.
Okay. I think that's everyone for right now. I don't see anybody else.
You're welcome, Roseanne. I hope that helps. I know it's kind of, especially when it's a general, and there's a lot of different paths, and ultimately at the end of the day, you have free will. So if it's not energy that resonates with you, then don't. Especially if it's not something that's like, man, I don't see any of that happening. Well, you know what? Don't buy into it then, because it just doesn't resonate. Ultimately, there's a lot of energy around you, and you have freedom of choice, and whatever you do is inside you, and you'll figure that out. But that's what we feel. So that's cool.
Oh, we're too fast. Sorry.
We should do more jokes in between readings.
Yeah, I guess so. Cancer, how do you see me? Oh, Bonnie wants a reading.
Bonnie?
Yeah. Okay.
I see you taking care of yourself, Bonnie. I think I see you focusing inward and just really healing yourself, and not really stressing out about a move or moving or, well, gee, Bonnie, are you looking to move? Is that really something that you're like, I think I'd like to move? Or is that just, something you're playing with? How far in the process are you? Because, I see our two of bears. They seem to be coming up a lot today. And two of bears, that would be the two of pentacles. So, that's, you're juggling, maybe, like, I'm weighing this, weighing that, and it's got that little infinite. I think in the Smith Wade, it's the dude juggling the pentacles, right? So is it something you're tossing around? Is that where you're going at? I'm not certain. So maybe you're just in the looking at houses. All right. Well, that would explain why you're juggling and kind of saying, it's a you know, got to look at it from a lot of different angles. Which brings me to the next one, which is the Terrapin of Skulls, and that would be swords. So breakthrough clarity, that would be the Ace of Swords. So, that's the beginning of that. So sooner at some point, I think that it'll all come into play. How divine timing. I don't have that clock, so I can't tell you when, but I think that with the juggling and stuff, you're gonna come into that breakthrough of clarity and whatnot, which brings us to my favorite card, the Storyteller. That's the Fool, and everything's open. That's just consciousness right there at the beginning. So I think that at some point, if that is where you're going with the direction, yeah, you're gonna figure out your house and whatnot. Just judging by the cards that I pulled for you, I would say that yeah, ultimately it is. It doesn't seem you got the decision making, which is pretty solid. Once you get it, you put yourself in a new, breakthrough of clarity. And then that's a whole new ball of wax with a new house, new thing, new yard for Charlie, man. But I mean, it's a beautiful thing, I think. So if that's where you're going, if it resonates with you, then yeah, look on your new house.
I am getting a lot of 9s in your reading. So I feel like you are ending something or in the process of ending something. And I do have Death card, the transformation card. But most importantly, the one that's standing out to me is the 6 of Swords and the Sun. And I feel like that is positive movement forward and a good shift towards manifesting that. Now, these timing cards, you can't always depend on them. But the one that I did pull was in the next couple of months. So something might catch your eye in the next couple of months.
The next step?
Yeah, the next step might show itself to you, but that's what I have. And also open your heart, expand your mind, and let your radiant heart pour out into everything you do, which you always do that anyway.
She always does. He says up in November, see, a couple of months.
Wow, okay.
Practically September.
Yeah. I get ready.
You're welcome, Bonnie. Hopefully that was helpful. Now you could like pull your own cards and check us and then grade us on it. Well, you were off here.
Yeah. I can take the criticism. So.
Well, I can too, man. It's like,
yeah.
Victor, love yourself, man.
Hi, Victor. Do you want a reading? Yeah, we have a lot of things, like a lot of places for rent near me. So if you move near me, I can come bother you.
Improving daily is good. Did Victor say he wanted a reading, or did I miss that? Or
I asked him if he wanted one. I haven't gotten an answer yet.
so what's like next year's the year of the horse, right? 2026, like for the Chinese zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just checking.
I don't know. I'd have to check. Do that right
I got a
now.
computer in front of me. I could probably Google it, but it seems like so much energy. One month to come.
Yeah, you're right. It's the horse.
Good job.
We need to tell KK.
Yeah, right. I think that's really cool. I got family in Oregon too. That I think that what she's trying to put together with therapeutic courses and stuff like that, they'd probably be able to benefit from that. So I'm really, 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 really supportive and optimistic for her. And she seems like she's got a really good head about that in terms of this is the direction she's going. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to get them because I think they would really dig horses and stuff.
Oh yeah, I love KK. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's really super. She really is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so who would like a reading?
All right, so the company, he's like fish moons,
Sagittarius moon, yep. Pisces moon.
Yeah, you think I'd remember that? Yeah. I'm like, I remember mine.
Been a roller coaster because of people I've been dealing with, but ignore no contact at home. Good. All right, let's see what's to come.
So I can go first if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So the first card I got for you, Victor, is the Lady, which is the number 2 card. That's the High Priestess. So there's, shadow, mystery, all kinds of good stuff. And you can see like the thing. She's not really. I mean, that's more of a spiritual kind of. You have that shadow thing. So mind that. She doesn't go out and she's the lady with the fan. So it's a test for you in a manner of speaking. The song goes, she throws her fan in a lion's den, and then there's a sailor who's foolhardy enough to go in and grab it, and there's a soldier who's like, no, I'm going to be safe, I'm not going to do that. So you're kind of at war with are you going to take the chance and do that, or are you going to just be safe and let your ego keep you safe and keep you wherever wherever it is? But the choice is it's something that you have to work with, and not because that's the path ahead. So there's something, but it's internal to you. You'll be able to you'll hear it, you'll know it, but just keep in mind that there's that duality. You don't necessarily need to be in a safe spot because this is safe because my ego is telling me keep me here. If it's something that you can branch out and be that freedom, do that. Because the next one is the King of Bolts, and this is success and definitely big balance, freedom, and not it's a good energy. But I think that it's one of those things kind of you got to build up momentum to. It's kind of like, okay, like chewing gum, walking, and whistling or whatever, doing all these things at the same time. So it's kind of what this card reminds me of. But once you balance all that together, you have that energy to bring you forward. And then, like everybody that seems to be getting this card today, the two of Pentacles, there's that balance, that choice that that you got it made. So and that that's kind of where it is. So choose wisely. Don't don't suffer and drop both pentacles, because you got the balance and the big energy here, and within the spirit energy, just focus on you, because that's truly where your path is, internal. And I think you're going to be okay for for that. Don't let outside forces influence you or affect your vibe, because that's it. And it's difficult if they're like right next to you and they're yelling and whatnot. I know that's difficult, but if you could somehow rise above that, which I know, Vic, you're a good cat, so I see that happening, man. Love your damn self.
Yeah. Have the bravery and curiosity it takes to dance gracefully with change. Chaos can be transformative. I also have the Death card. So there is a transformation taking place right now, and it could be causing a lot of anxiety. I see you being really stressed. It might be like obsessing even in mind over this. They want you to ground. I see you celebrating something in the future. This is something that is stable. This is something that makes you very happy. Also, they want you to speak your truth, but like you were saying, the ego and that kind of stuff, be wary of that. But yeah, that's what I have.
I hope that helps, Vic. I know you have, but quite the
There's a breakthrough coming through, though, that you are going to be celebrating. So
yeah. Yeah, anytime I've ever read you recently, Victor, it's always seemed like it's just been just beyond that veil. There's something positive happening, and that, you're right there, but you know what I mean, you're in your own head and whatnot. And again, I understand, especially when you're in proximity to toxicity and stuff. You know what I mean? It's really difficult to sometimes see your way, but I think you're solid, Vic. I think you're all right. You'll be good. Just keep up the good fight, like the lady.
yeah, of course, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
Well,
Can't believe I know, right? We're quick, huh? Well, we're nervous. I can't believe how many times I had two Bearses, and like the first couple times I was like, all right, now I'm gonna start sticking this someplace in the deck. Pops back up again.
well, it's interesting because to me, the Two of Pentacles in the card, it looks like the light and dark, or like the duality of a situation. And right now we're in summer still, but we're going to be going into fall. So it's kind of like that transitional period as well.
That's true. That's true. I was thinking about that in my flow, going back to my flow. Like, how I like transitional seasons much better than either winter or summer. Like spring and fall to me are much better. But I like that change of feeling, which led me to, like, you don't necessarily have to, because sometimes we fall back into life ebbs and flows, right? And you can't to be always positively vibrating. You can't be comfortable in the negative aspect of like melancholy. Sometimes melancholy is comfortable feeling, but you can't be comfortable in feeling that. It happens, you feel it, you let it go. Right. And then it's not really realistic to think, well, I'm going to be just comfortable hybrid, at a higher vibration, because that's not necessarily a realistic thing either. Because, I mean, again, back to what it said, it ebbs and flows. Ultimately, you're going to drop down a couple notches. And if you're comfortable at this high vibration and you drop down a couple notches, you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do to get back up to there? Instead, I think just be comfortable in striving for a higher vibration. It doesn't have to be like the highest vibration, just one higher than you are. So, I mean, if you're at a really low level and you could be comfortable and just always trying to be at a better vibration, then that's your comfort zone. So sooner or later you will be at a better vibration. And then if you slip, it doesn't matter, because you could stay there for a minute or two, like I said earlier, the melancholy thing. But your comfort zone is like, but I'm always looking up to have a much more positive thing. And then when you get to that, to a positive focus, and that's great, it works. Maybe you don't get knocked down as many times, but you're always looking upwards, and that's the comfort zone, and not so much where your comfort in the melancholy, your comfort in the super high thing, because neither one of those are really realistic. The melancholy, obviously, that's not beneficial for you, and then to really maintain that extra high vibration, that's not really realistic sometimes, because life happens, and then you got to adjust to that. But if you're always comfortable with, like, well, this is where I am now, but I'm comfortable with looking for a better vibration, it seems to me that would work out. And that's what I learned today when I was floating.
Yeah, acceptance, but not complacency.
Right, exactly.
I struggle with that. I think everybody struggles.
Everybody does. I think that's a human thing, really. I mean, I think everybody has that thing, and it's a lot. My own personal experience. I mean, sometimes it's just, man, it feels okay. This old feeling. It's not necessarily a good feeling, but it's like, it's sad, sorrowful, but it's because I'm used to it. I know that, but it doesn't really do me like a good if I'm not thinking positively. You know what I mean? It just keeps me stuck in the mud. But you can't deny the fact that well, you feel it, you have it, and that's the way it feels. You know what I mean? Because then if you, on the flip side, if you try to deny, it's like, I'm not going to acknowledge anything bad, but that's not really realistic either, because that's as much a part of you that the shadow is as much part of you as the light. You can't have one without the other, and you got to love them both, and that's what keeps you growing.
Yeah. Well.
And here we are. Did yeah, we are quick. Well, there wasn't really that many people though, was there?
No, not that I saw. There's only 7.
Right. We're pretty fast. Bonnie's like, come on, you guys, stretch it out. She's like in the back, stretch it out.
I can't help. Like whatever comes to me, and if I don't get anything else.
Yeah. It is a holiday weekend. That's right. The holiday weekend. You're absolutely correct.
Don't forget your cinnamon tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. The cinnamon. I
Mhm.
usually remember that about the 3rd or 4th, and then I'll text Bonnie something weird. It's like, does it matter? Like, kind of Google it.
Right. Sage and cinnamon, yes.
Yeah,
And we're
that's
in
great.
season, so that's fun.
Yeah, it is. Now, do you have any good fun plans to add that every day, Victor? I think of that. Do you have any fun plans for Labor Day? Cookouts, family, friends?
No, not really.
Lori would like a reading. Can we tell her what's coming for school? She is a Scorpio, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It is someone special, Bonnie. Absolutely.
Oh. You can go first if you'd like.
I would love to go first. So my first card is the 8 of Bears, which is the 8 of Pentacles. That's like skill, mastery. That doesn't surprise me one bit. That's skill, mastery. Notice the little studious bear there, right? He's 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 studying, but I probably should say she's studying and doing his thing. So it's it's a positive skill and mastery, but this gives way to well, the storyteller, the Fool card. So it's a new beginning. So whatever's happening at this point, you you have a new beginning, a new beginning. It's the single point of consciousness. It starts a new beginning, and that brings us to our Page of Roses. I think we talked about this the other day. The very loving and adventurous Page of Roses, and that goes probably in hand with our Fool card, which, by the way, was the card I pulled for me this morning. Was this one, which is interesting enough. So, yeah, man, school's good.
I'm still pulling.
Are you still pulling?
Yeah.
My humor. I like the. I'm sorry. Go on. I like the 8 of. I like the 8 of Bears though, because that's really a solid thing. I think that's right where you're at with school, and you're to the point where, whatever you're finishing up, and then the next onward is the Fool, which is a new journey, and then the Page that just treat it with wonder and joy. I think that's it'll go forward for you, of course. I'm sorry, Jess, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Well, first of all, May could be significant. I don't know why, but that's coming through. I see here. You may change your perspective on a course or whatever that you may be taking. You may choose a more.
It is, isn't it?
It's interesting because it's like two sides coming out that I see. There's like for instance, I have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. So I feel like you are embracing both aspects of yourself. And these could be two completely different areas of study that you may be considering. And I have, what if your strangeness is actually your brilliance, a portal that opens to your genius? And that's what I have.
That's a beautiful reading.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie. Oh, and the number 11 could be significant as well.
How'd you get 11? Was that just a card or?
Yeah. Oh, great. I'm glad it resonates.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So anyway, there it was.
I know. I feel bad.
No, it's not. I think my birthday is in November. 11. I got the 8. Yeah. Well, I mean, Barney does have a point. It is like, I know from previous holidays or holiday weekends, that it is, people are, especially, like I said, when we were like setting up, it's Sunday. It feels like a Saturday, but it really feels like a Sunday, even though it is technically a kind of a Saturday. So, and a lot of folks are probably doing whatever. I don't know. Here the weather's beautiful, but if that's the thing, that might be something. But it's always slow on holiday weekends, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the fair, in which case everybody goes.
I haven't been to the fair in a very long time, and I want to go. I miss it.
Don't bring a boat anchor. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you can have fun. You can have fun. It just kind of cuts the time short. You know what I mean? You'll have fun the whole time you're there. It's just that you won't be there for very long. Well, I mean, you could, but after a while, it's like, it defeats the point.
Do you ride any rides when you go?
Well, again, yeah, not really. No, not normally. I like to check out the attractions and stuff. So they had this like animatronic Ice Age thing. So all over the fair, they had like little like things, but they're in the big exhibit hall, which we never really got to that end of the fairway. There's like, so you walk in, you're like, last year I think it was dinosaurs. So you walk in, you're in Jurassic Park, and this year it was Ice Age. So I thought that was going to be pretty cool, and they have like exhibits and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I didn't get that. I don't normally ride the rides just because it's like it seems like it's so expensive just for like the bracelet and the tickets and stuff. Like it's on par with Disney, and I don't think the rides are as good as Disney.
Yeah, I would agree. Plus, it's kind of scary how fast they put them up and bring them down.
Yeah, and then I don't think that they're bonded, and anybody could be a carny, really. So yeah, I agree with that too. It's definitely not 100% safe.
I can't believe that. He's never been.
Never been. Well, it depends on where where it is in relation for the state fair. I mean, every like town, county, and everything like that.
We know.
They know. No, actually, I was like, yeah, we probably would have had a lot more fun. We'd probably still be there actually if I went with her, because think like horses. They have horses and stuff. I mean, all this really cool thing. Like the one you could go into, like I like going into like the animal thing to see, because there's kids or people that raise these things for, and they put them in their contests, and then you get to see all the like, the prize chickens or whatever, and I think that's really cool, and it's really showcases what New York has, and a lot of people put a lot of effort in it. I mean, that's really their whole thing. Same thing like watching the horse, they come out and they do whatever they're doing, this is this horse or whatever. I think last year I saw well, not Clydesdales, but they were carrying wagons. So like one was like a milk wagon from old times, but different horses. So whatever type of horses they had, that was what was on showcase. But part of the thing was, like the fire hook and ladder thing, the cart that they're pulling and stuff. And so that, I like all that kind of stuff, and it's really interesting because it's not something that you normally see. I mean, in terms of you drive by the expressway and you see a bunch of horses in the field, but you have no idea what those horses are all about, and you don't know in the barn in the back that they got this like, 19, 20 hook and ladder thing that they polish up and they take around and they do competitions with.
That stuff's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff too. In New Jersey, around Christmas time, we would have what they call the Charles Dickens Festival.
Okay.
In the old town there, like we would have it, and I don't know if they do it anymore, but everybody would dress up in like that era, and there would be carolers, there would be reindeer, we would walk around antique shops for hours.
All right.
And yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
That's cool. I think they would probably still do it. I don't know why they would. Well, pandemic, but I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. You know what I mean? It seems like, it'd be a great way, pre-Christmas kind of thing, and Christmas big money. So
Yeah, and it was really fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was a teenager at the time. Not that teenagers wouldn't enjoy it, but like I really loved it.
yeah, so it's got a full range. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Beautiful. I want to go back, but it's too cold.
Not in August. Well, maybe it is in August because 72 here. So yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it snow in Tennessee though?
Very rarely. Like not as much. One year we got more ice than we did snow. Like there was a sheet of it and I had to walk to the store. So I was walking like a penguin the entire time.
They tell you that at work. They got like here, like when it comes winter, they put like these little flyers up on the wall, walk like a penguin. You got to do training. It tells you to walk like a penguin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Well, like Bonnie's calling it because there's no more. Is there anybody else who wants reading, who's listening, paying attention, or no? No. Well, I really want to thank Bonnie for letting me sit in. Jess, thank you for letting me co-host with you because really, it's truly always a pleasure. It's always fun. You guys have great energy, and I appreciate it setting in and helping out when I can. And that's awesome. Again, Bonnie, much love. Feel better. Do you.
Waking up in the morning light, kind of feeling like I'm in flight. Clouds are gathering up above, turning whispers into love. And I'm calling all angels, won't you hear